Story 1. Aita for telling my brother's fiance about a secret from our childhood. Part 1. The Post. I, 28F, have a brother, Sam, 30M, who's getting married in a few months. Growing up, Sam and I were really close, but we had some complicated moments as kids. When we were 10 and 12, Sam accidentally caused a small accident in our neighborhood. He and I were playing near the community pool when he pushed another kid in. It wasn't serious, but the child had a minor concussion. Our parents decided to cover it up entirely. Sam was terrified of getting in trouble, and I promised never to tell anyone. I thought it had been buried forever. Fast forward to now. Sam is engaged to Emily, 29F, and I recently noticed Emily asking subtle questions about family history and childhood incidents. I started feeling guilty, like Emily had a right to know that Sam had been involved in something serious, even if it was a long time ago. I tried talking to Sam about it, but he laughed it off and said, "It's been 18 years. Everyone makes mistakes as kids. Let it go." A few weeks ago, I mentioned it casually to a close friend online, not expecting it to go anywhere. Somehow, Emily found out. She confronted me directly. She seemed hurt, confused, but not angry. Sam, however, exploded. He accused me of betraying him, breaking his trust, and ruining what should have been a perfect wedding season. I feel terrible seeing my brother so upset. I honestly thought transparency was important, especially in a marriage, but now I'm questioning whether I cross a line. AITA, Part 2 Comments and Reactions. Some commenters said I did the right thing. One wrote, "Emily deserves to know what kind of person she's marrying, even if it's from childhood. Secrets like this fester." Others argued I overstepped. It's a decades-old mistake. You basically created drama for no reason. Sam's life isn't your responsibility. The tension in my family skyrocketed. Our parents were caught in the middle, furious that I'd told anyone. I kept thinking, was honesty really the right choice, or did I just want to feel morally superior? Part 3, Personal Reflection and Escalation. I spent nights lying awake, wondering if my idea of morality had damaged the most important relationship in my life. I tried apologizing to Sam, explaining that I didn't want to hurt him. I just wanted Emily to know the truth before committing her life to him. He barely listened. He keeps saying, "You didn't just tell Emily. You made me look like a criminal in front of the people I love most." Meanwhile, Emily reached out privately. She told me she appreciated my honesty, but she needed time to process it. She said, "This doesn't change my feelings for Sam, but it changes how I view secrets. I'd rather know than live a lie." It was a small relief. At least someone understood why I did what I did. Part 4, Outcome and Moral. In the end, Sam and Emily confronted the secret together. Emily decided it was a childhood mistake and didn't define Sam as an adult. They are moving forward with their wedding plans, but Sam is still slightly distant toward me. I've learned a hard lesson. Honesty is important, but timing and context matter. You can do the right thing morally and still hurt people emotionally. Moral of the story: sometimes being honest doesn't make you the villain, but it can make relationships messy. You just have to live with the consequences. Story 2. AITA for choosing my career over moving for my partner. Part 1. The original post. I, 26F, recently landed my dream job. It's a competitive role at an environmental research firm I've wanted to work at since college. It's in my city, the same place I've lived all my life, where I built my support system, my independence, and my future. My boyfriend, Ryan, 27M, on the other hand, just got offered a major promotion in another province almost 1,000 kilometers away. His promotion would mean a lot more money, prestige, and leadership experience. When he told me, I was genuinely happy for him, until he followed it up with, "So, when do you think you can start packing?" He assumed I'd move with him automatically. When I told him I didn't want to leave my new job, he was shocked. He said, "It's just work. We can find another one for you there." I tried explaining that this wasn't just work. It's something I've spent years preparing for. Countless unpaid internships, research projects, night classes. He told me I was being selfish and that relationships are about compromise. We've been together for 3 years, living together for 2. I love him deeply, but this is the first time I've ever felt like I had to choose between my relationship and my own future. I told him I wasn't ready to move right now, maybe later, after a year or two in my position. He got quiet and said, "If you're not coming with me, I guess I know where your priorities really are." That sentence hit hard. Now I'm questioning myself. Am I really putting my career above love? Or is he asking me to give up something I've worked for my whole life? AITA for staying behind. Part 2, comments and reactions. The comments were brutal but honest. Top comment: you're not choosing your job over your partner. You're choosing not to sacrifice your goals for someone who isn't willing to compromise either. Another said, is making this about loyalty, but relationships are about mutual growth, not relocation ultimatums. And one that's dumb. He doesn't see your career as equal to his. That's the real red flag. After reading hundreds of responses, I started realizing that maybe this wasn't just about a move. It was about power and respect. For the first time, I asked myself, if I move, would he have done the same for me? The answer was no. Part 3, update, 3 weeks later. Ryan moved. He didn't end things officially. We just drifted apart. The first week was filled with constant video calls, long texts, promises that we'd make it work. But then came the missed calls, the delayed replies, the guilt trips disguised as jokes. You must be so happy with your dream job, huh? One night, during one of our calls, he said, "You made your choice. I hope it was worth it." And hung up. I cried for hours, not because he was gone, but because I realized I'd been measuring love through sacrifice. I wanted a relationship where both of us could chase our dreams and still meet halfway. Part 4, final update, 6 months later. It's been 6 months. I've settled into my job, and it's everything I hoped for. Ryan and I officially broke up 2 months ago, peacefully, with mutual respect. We both realize that love doesn't always mean permanence. Sometimes it's a season that teaches you something vital. I don't regret staying. I learned that real love shouldn't make you shrink. It should expand your world, not cage it. Moral: choosing yourself isn't selfish when it means protecting your future. You can rebuild love, but you can't rebuild self-respect once you've given it away. Story 3. Aita for refusing to lie to my friend's parent about a secret. Part 1. The post. My best friend, Sarah, 25F, and I have been inseparable since high school. We've been through everything together. Heartbreaks, bad apartments, job rejections, all of it. But recently, she's been making choices that scare me. She's been secretly dating a married man. She swore it wasn't serious, that he was leaving his wife soon. But I've heard that line before. I tried to stay supportive, but every part of me felt uneasy. Then came the part where she crossed the line. Sarah's parents are deeply traditional and religious. They still think she's single and focused on work. She asked me to cover for her, to lie if they ever called or asked where she was. She even gave me a fake story to tell. If they ask, say I'm at your place working on a project. I told her I couldn't. I said, "You know I love you, but I can't lie to people who care about you just to protect a relationship that's built on lies." She blew up at me, called me judgmental, told me I didn't understand what love means. Now she's not talking to me. Part of me wonders if I should have just covered for her. After all, it's her life, not mine. But another part of me feels like enabling her lie would make me part of it. AITA? Part 2. The backlash. The comments poured in. You did the right thing. Lies don't need backup singers. If she's willing to lose a friend over this, that says more about her than you. You can support someone emotionally without helping them destroy their integrity. But there were also a few that made me think, are you sure you're not moralizing too hard? People make messy choices. It made me question whether I was acting from concern or self-righteousness. I tried reaching out to Sarah again, but she left me on read. Her silence hurt more than I expected. Part 3, a month later. I saw Sarah's mom at the grocery store. She smiled and said, "We haven't seen Sarah in weeks. She's always busy with work. You girls must be slammed." I smiled awkwardly, feeling my stomach twist. Later that night, Sarah texted me, "Why did you talk to my mom?" I hadn't said anything, but clearly guilt made her paranoid. We argued again. She accused me of trying to expose her. I told her, I just don't want to lie for you. You deserve better than a relationship that keeps you hiding. She didn't reply. Part 4, 6 months later. Yesterday, she showed up at my apartment unannounced. She looked exhausted, eyes swollen, hand shaking slightly. She told me she finally broke things off. The man never left his wife. She said, "You were the only one who didn't lie for me. I hated you for it, but now I understand why you didn't." We cried for a long time. Sometimes the hardest thing you can do for someone you love is tell them no. Moral: love your friends enough to be their mirror, not their mask.